Hello and welcome to this Chessodoro game review. This was a 15+10 rapid game on chess.com between 1100 rating players. Student is playing white, so game started e4, e5, open game, bishop c4, and first dubious move h6. So this is, I faced this myself, it's a common, when black doesn't know much theory, it's a common inaccuracy among amateurs. It's an open game, so fast and effective development is key, not wasting moves like these bunny ears, or dog ears on imaginary threats. So of course main moves are bishop c5 or knight f6. Maybe opponent was scared of this, but this theory is just starting here. So if you know a bit of theory, you know that these lines exist. So h6 is just kind of preventing against knight g4, but it's wasting time. Knight g5, but it's wasting time, here. And you played excellent response. d4, So against side moves, strike in the center is the usual recipe, So ed, knight d4, you open the center, nice pieces, this central pawn is more active than this one. He tried to kind of reduce your activity by exchanging, but actually this doesn't really solve the problem. So other moves could be, if they play knight f6 aggressively trying to develop, something like this could happen, and we castle. We are not afraid of losing the pawn because we're gonna pin this knight. Something like this, white has advantage. d6 probably is best. Usually when players take on d4, they usually follow up with d6, like some sort of philidor, but then you can just do this here, or even go for some, I don't know, maybe even bishop f4 attack, like this, just castle long, or you can castle short, just mess up the pawns, and castle short later, or long even, like here again. Many good ways to play here, but he took on d4. We know that the queen early on is usually a bad idea to develop, but he just exchanged his attacker, on c6, so no one really can hit the queen. He tried to exchange the queens actually, but this was a bad move. He should start first with d6 if he wants to do that, and then you can even decline the exchange, and leave this queen kind of stupid here, with the knight coming in. So he went immediately here, but I think you made a dubious move. Now weird retreat, of course you can attack the queen, here, since he didn't play d6. Maybe you were afraid of some double attacks like this, but let me show you, you have big advantage in opening, and his only queen is like running through the board, so we can be super aggressive here. We don't care about such pawns, we go for fast development. And example of what happens if he keeps munching these pawns, we develop, we don't care, long castles. You see, only one queen is developed, these pieces are sleeping, so we don't care about such pawns. And he will eventually run into some tactics like this, and we're winning, the rook here. So you don't have to be afraid of early queen, sorties to win some pawns. Usually that spells big trouble for opponents, so e5 was the best move. So queen c3 you play it, intending to recapture. Another at least good move was this, to recapture with the bishop, also retaining nice advantage. So and he goes knight e7 here. I think maybe he should take it, he should take it. And but here white has some advantage, he's hitting this weak pawn because queen is already gone, no one is defending c7. So that's a nice pattern to know, if queen is already out, c7 is often weak, same as with f7, if king is not here. So Instead you played b3 after knight e7. Also you could just double the pawns, yeah, I'm not sure, maybe he'll undouble, but you can continue like this, yeah, just keep developing. b3 is okay. He exchanged, went for c6, maybe future intending d5 or b5, but you castled. Okay, I think long castle is actually better, yeah. Why is that? Because you develop additionally, yeah, with castling you develop the rook, so that's the benefit of long side castle, yeah. So immediately you put the rook on the d file. I thought this was better for white, so instead you castled short, went for a4 to stop b5, and we reached kind of this position where you went knight e2. I think you should, he's controlling these dark squares, yeah, so why not limit his controls on them, yeah, and you want to go f4 e5, yeah, to grab the control of these squares, yeah. So but you kind of exchanged the dark square bishops, which was favorable for him, I think. Now your bishop is in trouble of, yeah, getting the double pawns. So you retreated, and now, so yeah, the game is equal here. I think you had previously some advantage, but playable game, yeah, you kind of advantage disappeared. I think this g3 earlier was a way to play, yeah, for further advantage, but okay, we have to play on. This was around equal now. He went knight f4, he took the bishop. Not sure if he needed to take so fast, yeah, he could have just finished some development. And here we have this type of situation. I'm not sure where this rook is actually going. There are no open, well, c file is open, yeah, but how are you breaking through? So I would go maybe a5 first, yeah. I'm not sure if this rook is really needed at the moment on c file. Maybe I would try to break some pawns in future. Play b4, then see, yeah, where this rook is going. But okay, this is not a mistake, just some observation. So I think here he could have played a5 himself, fixing these pawns, yeah, on light squares. If he managed to put the bishop on e6 without the knight exchanging, yeah, he would be doing great. So a5, nice fixing move. He went bishop e6 instead, and now you could have go into rook endgame as well, but it's kind of equal, yeah. Maybe f3 d4 and just play on. b4 you went, putting the pawns on dark squares, yeah, out of bishop attack. So f3, I like this part of the game where you slowly improved, yeah, with the pawns on dark squares, slowly gain space. And definitely now you didn't want to exchange the knight, yeah, because you have you fixed some pawns on light squares already, yeah. So knight is nicely moving since we have plenty of pawns. So knight is kind of increasing in strength. Maybe he should have tried c5, but not so sure, yeah. Maybe this pawn will actually be weak, yeah. Somehow double up, king is coming also to center. So a rook e1, g6, he's putting some pawns on light squares again. d4, you're both slowly improving, but I think you're just gaining more space, yeah. Black doesn't have any clear plan, he's just sitting there. So good idea, gaining space, improving step by step, yeah. So now you played h5, interesting move, yeah, as well, gaining more space. d5 was already interesting as well, kind of trying to make some weaknesses, yeah, open the game at the right moment. h5, and now I think you took way too fast, yeah. Important thing to notice, when you have such far advanced pawns, you really don't want to exchange them fast, yeah. Keep the tension, let them take, yeah, and weaken their position, because every move now he has to watch out for this take, yeah. Don't try to release the tension too fast. And by, for example, other moves could have been d5, yeah, or you could just maybe slowly prepare this d5, yeah, by moving the rooks around, yeah, and torturing your opponent. So don't try to release the tension too fast, yeah, because when you did that, suddenly he has this open f file, yeah, on you, So basically this was not a beneficial trade for us. Yeah, you traded this so far advanced pawn for actually not this pawn but this pawn, because this pawn took its place. Yeah, so you see space advantage, yeah, for just this pawn. So not a good trade for us. So you went rook h1, totally missing, I think, his counterplay now on the f file. So you had to play king g3, but now he has some play, yeah, and you'll have to defend probably the f3 pawn with the knight, yeah, but he has now some space for his pieces to move around, yeah, and attack you. So rook h1, and now black is taking over the game. Already big tactics are hanging, yeah, on the f file, some pins. So, and here I think you were just losing the game at this moment, because now black kind of made a blunder. I wouldn't call it maybe a blunder. He missed his chance. He had an easy move here, just seeing the threat, yeah. King g7, and then your all pawns are basically falling because those rooks are invading here. Probably lost for white, just lost. So he just took this pawn, but missed, yeah, that you're winning exchange. But still, black is probably even winning here. So, but you needed to defend, of course, the pawn. You kind of gave it away. And I think if you exchange the rooks, at least you had to try this, I think, but still, black is probably winning this endgame. Yeah, these two pawns and the bishop will be stronger than the rook in my opinion, so he will slowly advance and win this. So instead you kind of avoided the rook exchange, but now black made a mistake. He should keep the rooks now and slowly advance the pawns, yeah, slowly advance the pawns and try to win, because it better combines, yeah, with rook and bishop together, better combines with these pawns than bishop alone, yeah, against the rook. So rook f8, you took, you went here. Here you had a very hard move to spot for such level, but this illustrates that rooks like open lines, yeah, this motif. So you had amazing move, yeah, it's engine move, of course, b5, but stronger players might find this move, yeah, because you're opening the lines. So first thing, if they take with the a pawn, we have another amazing tactic. Rook takes, and he cannot take the rook because we promote the pawn. If he takes with the c pawn, at least we're fighting for a draw here by activating the rook, taking some pawns. Black has even to be careful, yeah, to not lose the a6 pawn later and lose the game, yeah, but probably we're having good chances to make a draw here. So, but you went rook f1, so and now king c3, a strange move, yeah. What is this king doing here? You cannot really invade the queen side, yeah, through here. So you kind of accepted that this was a mistake. Yeah, you need to keep the king closer to these pawns. So king e3 coming in, h4. Black is of course winning. No one can stop this bishop with these two pawns. Black just needs to be careful and support these pawns with the king. But as we see, he even managed to blunder that. So here, just an easy win for black would have been just bringing the king. You can, of course, try to check from behind. Yeah, but the king is coming in. Yeah, now if you go back, we repeat checks, but king can just go and collect other pawns, yeah, instead of trying to promote, and we're totally losing here with white. Instead, g3 is a bad idea. Also a mistake would be, yeah, because you win this pawn. So he could have just brought the king up and win the game, but he blundered badly. Yeah, always when you have bishop and advancing pawns, try to advance the pawns on different color squares, yeah, so they complement each other, not on the same ones, yeah. On the same ones you can easily block what happened in the game. So he just allowed you to block the pawns, and you repeat it, and his king is not getting through. Basically game ended in a draw here. Lucky, yeah, lucky, very lucky for you that opponent messed up like this. You made a draw here. Okay, so what about the conclusions of this game? So opponent played badly in the opening, yes, very slow. This h6 move and this queen f6 was a mistake. You should have punished him with e5, yeah, first thing. Second thing, you both quickly approached the endgame and you managed to build quite a nice edge. So this this part of the game where you kind of exchange everything from here, yeah, I really liked how you, for your level, very deep play, I would say, yeah, slowly, not rushing for any exchanges, yeah, not messing up something, slowly improved the position, gained space up until here, yeah, you gain space, but crucially here, yeah, we're coming to another moment. Third thing, it's this hg move, yeah, so I didn't like this move. You gave opponent counterplay, yeah, you see how his pieces are without air, yeah, don't release the tension and give him counterplay. Let him take if he wants to weaken his position, yeah, try to keep the tension. Now every move he has to watch out for this take, yeah, so you can even torture your opponent, yeah, make slow moves and make him lash out, yeah, something, and make it worse even for him. So don't release the tension, yeah, that's, I think, the biggest lesson from this game actually. And opponent was winning here, yeah, when he kind of gained this tactic over the f line and won. Lucky for you, he kind of gave away the exchange back by this move, yeah, otherwise you would be totally losing. So he was winning but messed up badly right here, yeah, pushing the pawn. Yeah, you need the king to support usually, so king is a fighting piece. Maybe he forgot that, yeah, that he needed to bring the king in the end game. So yeah, so main takeaway from this game, don't release the tension, yeah, unless there is something concrete, yeah, some tactic. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll create a nice plan for you and see you around. Bye bye.